You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Friday review, where we are about to recap the best of the week. Excited to bring you, of course, favorite food of the week. I always try to bring you favorite foods that you may not be eating right now that could be a huge benefit to your nutrition, your overall health, whatever your health and wellness and weight loss goals may be. So I'll bring you a new one this week. I also have a brand new book for you to check out. Very readable, very approachable, and I highly recommend it. Then I'll go over 3 research studies for you that I believe you or your loved ones should know about. And of course, to start the show, I always recap the week, what I have going on in the private practice, as well as IHP, Equilibrium Nutrition, you name it. But to start, I actually just got out of a CPR recertification. Now, I've been doing CPR since high school, so we're going back a bit. And when I tell you that not much has changed, not much has changed. But this is a public service announcement that I recommend redoing your certification. Or if you've never been certified in CPR, take a class. I mean, it really can. I think it's that valuable because no one ever expects to have to use CPR, but the truth is that it's great to know it, and it won't take you any more than really 2 hours for recertification and maybe 4 hours to get your very first certification. Or if you don't want to go through a certification, just look up the American Red Cross or American Heart Association right online. You could probably find it on YouTube, I'm sure, for how to perform CPR for an infant under 12 months, for a child, as well as an adult. So, one thing they're teaching now is simply more chest compressions over breaths, right? Because in an adult, there's enough oxygen, but you want to keep that heart pumping until someone comes with an AED, a defibrillator, or an AD, or an EMT arrives. So, just again, it's good to know for yourself, your kids, your family, public spaces, etc. Anyway, that's my public service announcement. Can't recommend it enough. And it's just a great refresher. I've been doing it now for so long, I can't even remember, but it's definitely worth it every time. And I like being able to do that for all of our team here in Boston as well. All right. So what else do I want to share with you this week? A couple big things. So one is that finally, and I know they've been back for a bit, but now our sample bar packs are in. So our whole food bars are simply that. We didn't name them anything fancy. We need to in the future. Maybe we'll run a contest for the best name. But we have 4 flavors of a whole food bar. It is chocolate brownie indulgence. We have cinnamon apple crisp. We have our lemon ginger goodness. And we have one of my favorites, which is Sunny Date Delight. So these bars are made, obviously, just completely from whole food. Pressed bars. There's a slight recipe. They'll taste exactly the same. But here's what we did. We sold out. We sold out way faster than we could have thought. Now, that's a good thing, typically. However, we don't want that, right? We want to be able to always provide people with the best quality nutritional supplements they can get. Well, in this case, what we did was we made the wrapper a little bit easier to open. So again, here's why I'm mentioning this is that your feedback is always wanted, as long as it's constructive. Like our support team doesn't need to be yelled at, anything like that. Just give them your constructive criticism or, whatever you'd like to share, and good success stories too. And we love that people love the flavor, so we didn't want to change that. But we did make them even a little lower glycemic. So we're using date syrup instead of maple syrup. Believe it, it's even a little lower glycemic. Again, no taste change. We have slightly more protein for 2 of the bars, and we have slightly more fiber for 2 of the bars as well. So all of the fiber, the healthy fats, as well as the protein in that all lead to a low glycemic bar. They are school safe for most schools. They're free of the top 8 allergens plus 4 more that we added in. And to my knowledge, they are one of the only bars that is tested for glyphosate and all sorts of other toxins. So the truth is, you can feel healthy, you can feel confident, you can feel guilt-free, and you can feel safe about giving these to yourself, your family, and taking them on the go, which is what I love to do, especially with all the travel I have. So just wanted to mention that to you, and you can get all 4 flavors for under $10 to taste them yourself. And you can simply go to equilibriumnutrition.com, and we will eventually link that up. So it's just equilibriumnutrition.com/bars. But for right now, just go to equilibriumnutrition.com, and in the little search bar, so just kind of ease into that search bar, just type in bars, and it should pop up. I'm doing it right now. And we do. There they are, Whole Food Bars. And the Whole Food Bars sample pack, only $9.95. You get to try all 4 flavors. I really believe that you will love them, but here's the thing. If for whatever reason you don't, they are fully guaranteed, just like all of our products. Feel free to return it if it doesn't work for you. These are vegan. These are paleo. These are free of the major allergens. They're USDA certified organic. I mean, you name it, this is the cleanest bar that you can get. So hopefully you enjoy the new batch in, and we will make sure that we keep these in stock. But of course, just keep in mind, with all of our subscriptions, if you subscribe to any of our products, even if you see it sold out on the website, our subscribers still get whatever we have in reserve. So that is one of the nice things about a subscription with Equilibrium Nutrition. Okay. Oh, one more thing that I wanted to share was everybody asked me, is like, what's your favorite flavor? It's always subjective. So my youngest daughter loves the chocolate brownie. My oldest daughter loves the cinnamon apple. My favorite is the sunny date. And of course, my wife's is just the last one. I mean, I don't know how it works this way, but she loves the more turmeric-based flavor of the lemon ginger because it has turmeric in it. And her second favorite is the chocolate brownie. I love the cinnamon apple, and I love the sunny date. But again, it's all in what you like. So there is no like runaway winner for whatever flavor people like. So I wish I could give you that data. I don't have that data. But, well, we do have that data, and there's just no wild separation. So that's why we do have the sample pack, and I just wanted to throw that out there for you. Okay, next up, people ask about IHP. IHP always is never open for more than 2 to 3 days to 4 days maximum per month, and always closes after our 100th new member joins our community. So we close that each and every month. It's not open every month. We are open maybe 8 times, 9 times per year maximum. But we are allowing applications at integrativehealthpractitioner.org. So integrativehealthpractitioner.org, you can learn about our health coaching course there and our health coaching certification for people who want to learn how to heal themselves and heal others. About half of the people in that program are in the health-based field. Nurses, doctors, acupuncturists, personal trainers, etc. And half of the people have no health experience at all. So there is something for everyone. You're allowed to move at your own pace. It is a lifetime membership, at least for now. And we just started applications. Some people, for whatever reason, they want to get in right now, and we are closed. When we've been closed, we've been open now for we've had the certification about 14 months. Well, we always close. And the reason is we want to take really good care of all of our 100 new members. And each and every month, I get on a private call with our IHP level 1 and our IHP level 2. So I like to do that about a week after we open. So what I'd like to say is that we will not allow or enable a lot of people to get in through application. However, if you show us that you are very serious and that you want to start right away for whatever reason, because it works within your schedule, you need to get it done, you just missed the last opening, there's no guarantees, and I just want you to know that because I don't want anybody to feel bad that we're not going to let a lot of people in. But you can apply, and if you are serious, we absolutely do allow a couple people in, like a handful, each and every month between. So that's that. Just want to let you know it's a difference with the IHP website. And if you're looking for an integrative health practitioner, head on over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org and just simply click on practitioners, and you will see all of our practitioners who are currently certified from all around the world. We currently have more than 1,000 people going through the certification. So pretty amazing community, not pretty amazing, the most amazing community. And I'm actually doing another live IHP Q&A this week. So a lot of fun. All right. That is what I believe I have for you for updates this week. We did our... one more thing is that I just want to make sure that you've listened to the end of the podcast this week, we are giving away a free bottle of vitamin D3. Now, the average person, it's going to last at least 3 months. But this is a $39.95 bottle. Like, this is a $40 value. And it's free on any purchase over $99 at Equilibrium Nutrition, which we're giving away $40 on over $99. And the reason we want to do this is because my team knows every January, and I've done this for the past 3 years, I give away free bottles of vitamin D. And the reason is, if you listen to the podcast, it is needed for over 300 vital processes in the body. And I can guarantee you, almost guarantee you, that if you do not maintain a tan, you are low in vitamin D. So it's hurting your metabolism. It's hurting your weight loss abilities. It's hurting your body's ability to fight off infections and dis-ease of the body. So having said that, I want to give you a free bottle. That's it. That's basically it. So if you purchase an at-home lab, or your favorite product, whatever it might be, please do that this week so I can get you your free bottle. That's basically it. Okay, let's move on now to favorite food of the week. And again, these aren't my favorite foods. These are things that are maybe that you haven't heard about. Like, I want to bring new things to you each and every Friday. And I've been doing this now for about 3 or 4 months or so in the Cabral concept, so you can always go back for previous podcasts. But Jackfruit Tacos. I don't know if I've ever mentioned jackfruit. I should probably check that on my own podcast page. I tell people all the time, head on over to stephencabral.com/podcasts and just type in the search bar what your question or your keyword is. And I'm actually going to do it right now. I'm going to type in jackfruit. I'm going to see if I've ever spoken about jackfruit. And I have on episode 1938. All right, well, I'm not going to get overboard then in talking about my love for jackfruit. But here's the thing. I like jackfruit. So I like jackfruit just by itself. So it almost is a cross between, I think it tastes like a cross between a mango, pineapple, and banana, like all in one. Like, that's what it tastes like to me. It's meaty, meaning like it's kind of like stringy. It's chewy, meaning it's more like that mango per se, rather than a banana, because it has some chew to it. But here's where I like it more. I like it as part of a smoothie, but even more so, I love Jackfruit Tacos. If you have not tried Jackfruit Tacos before, give it a shot. Or some people make jackfruit pulled pork sandwiches. Now, you use it instead of the pork. And it is a vegan-based way to be able to have another plant-based meal. Now, again, I'm not saying you can't ever have some fish or some eggs or some meat. What I'm saying is the more plant-based we can become, more than likely the more healthy. So here's the thing. Jackfruit, loaded with fiber, loaded with potassium, loaded with vitamin C. And you'll see that from most orange-based fruits as well. So this is a lower glycemic, especially as you make it as part of a taco. How would you make it as a taco? You can do it the same exact way. Honestly, you don't need me to give you the recipe. I am definitely not Chef Cabral. Like, that is not my forte. But what I want to say is we will use a gluten-free, healthier version of a barbecue sauce, and we'll turn it into a barbecue jackfruit, and we will make either soft shell or hard shell tacos. I love hard shell tacos. I'm much more inclined in that direction, and I just simply use the cassava flour ones. It is a root-based vegetable, so cassava is a root-based veggie. I believe I spoke about it on episode 952. Let's see if I did. Siete is the brand, I believe, that I like. You know what? I didn't. I gave you the cassava flour. To be honest, it's never come out as great when I make it. It really doesn't. So I like the company. I believe it's called Siete. Let's just see if that's the case. I'm going to go back to my podcast page. I'm going to go back to that search box and see if I can find it with my poor pronunciation. All right, so I'm going to link it up today. It's not on there, but you'll find it at your local Erewhon, Sprouts, Whole Foods, Wegmans, whatever your healthy food store. And it's just Siete. And if I click on the grain-free taco shells right now, which I'm doing, and tough to order through the mail sometimes. They come all cracked, unfortunately, but maybe they're coming up with better ways. They always are. And let's see, the exact ingredients, so I can just make sure that you know the exact ones, should be cassava flour. The suspense is killing me here. Cassava flour, avocado oil, pumpkin seed meal, pumpkin powder, sea salt, and psyllium. That's pretty clean. That is a clean taco shell right there. Again, they make a soft shell. Is that correct? soft taco, we'll just call it that, and then a hard taco. They're both excellent, and you can make whatever type of taco you like out of them. We are a gluten-free, dairy-free family, except for a cheat meal when we decide to do that, and this is a great way to do it. So check out Jackfruit recipes, as in jackfruit pulled pork or a jackfruit taco. You'll come up with great things, and I think you'll be shocked. My wife made them for my dad one time, and if we can get my dad to eat them and not tell him ahead of time, then we're good to go. We've done that with rice pasta before too, and he didn't know the difference. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be able to introduce more of these plant-based foods. All right, so that's the favorite food of the week. And I guess our favorite company then we could give is to Siete for a lot of these gluten-free based alternatives. All right, next up, I wanted to bring you a book review this week. Really, I've heard about this book for quite some time, and I thought I had honestly read it. That's the funny thing about reading a few books a week. I'm like, I think I've read that. And I looked through my bookshelf, and of course I couldn't find it, but I sometimes can't find books there. It's in the abyss. So then I went to Amazon. I'm like, hey, have I ordered this before? Because I ordered most of my books through there, and I didn't find it. So I ordered it, and it's called Conquer Your Critical Inner Voice. And I am currently on page 130. I just finished they have many of the quizzes in here. So 130, I think it's 210 pages or so. Big book, bigger font, lots of quizzes, easy to go through. I'll tell you this right now. If you are someone who deals with anxiety, overwhelm, depression, trauma, PTSD, lower mood, it's a good book. Read this book. I mean, honestly, I could never probably give somebody say, oh, I agree with that 100%, but it's a great book. I mean, it really is, and it's a good starter book. It begins to let you know, listen, a lot of who you are right now is a product of your subconscious programming that came from childhood or came from your community or came from friends or came from a traumatic situation. This is a book to allow you to understand how you got here and how you can get well. Like, that's the thing. And so I like this book, and I just want to say, I probably wouldn't do it justice to start to take you through all of it right now. I'm also on page 130, but I'm almost all the way through the book. And I really like how it's like, okay, learn a little bit, take the quiz. Learn a little bit, take the quiz. So it's pretty interactive. A lot of these things I've heard in different ways because I've studied psychology for quite some time, but this is a very concise and usable book and quite well done. Written by Robert Firestone, PhD, Lisa Firestone, PhD, Joyce Catlett, MA. So overall, great book. Definitely recommend it. Anybody in your life who's dealing with some type of a stress, emotional-based issues, or just kind of gets themselves into a funk all the time, check out the book. I wish I had it 15 years ago, for sure. All right. Last, but certainly never least, is the research of the week. I love research. I know the majority of the world probably doesn't love research. I'm strange in that way. But what I want you to understand is that I want to give you actionable research. Combing through research that makes no difference in anyone's life, or it's so arbitrary, or we don't know if it actually will work in the real world, I don't even want you to waste your time on. So each and every Friday, I try to bring you 1, 2, or 3 research studies that I believe will have a direct impact on your life or someone else's. And here's what I mean. The very first one today is on diabetes. Now, you might not have diabetes, but I've been doing this quite a bit lately, and I've been talking about these statistics. 1 in 5 teenagers now has type 2 diabetes. I mean, it's deplorable. I mean, these are teenagers having what was called previously adult onset diabetes. And all of a sudden, 13, 14, 15 years old, they have diabetes. And yes, a lot of this is due to obesity in this country. There's no doubt about it. And we are doing our best as a health and wellness first-based company to try to promote weight loss in a healthy way by teaching people how to boost metabolism. Just this Wednesday, we went through the 5th factor of boosting your metabolism. If you haven't heard the past 5 weeks on each Wednesday's show on the 5 factors that boost your metabolism, you need to check that out. It will destroy the whole notion about calories in, calories out. We have to get over that. We really do. We know so many people on low-calorie diets, and they're not able to lose the weight, and they're destroying their metabolism. So what I wanted to do was share with you at least some things that you can steer people in the right direction. even if they're not willing to come off or begin a good health-based protocol. Remember, I don't recommend anybody come off their medication unless they're working with their PCP on that. But I'm telling you right now that type 2 diabetes is reversible for most people. It's not going to happen overnight. And that's because, and I know I talk about this quite a bit, but it takes 3 to 4 months to turn over those red blood cells. It's not going to happen overnight. But the good thing is this: as you're getting healthier, you're rebalancing your metabolism, you're losing weight, you're improving mood, you're increasing energy, you're improving sleep. I mean, the results and the side benefits are enormous. So again, get rid of your type 2 diabetes for whatever you'd like, because we know that blood sugar dysregulation can also shorten lifespan. But interesting thing is this: they did this study with women and type 2 diabetes taking insulin sensitizers. And those people taking a drug such as metformin actually had a 21% lower risk for cancer than women taking other insulin-secreting based drugs. So when you look at that, the results are pretty astounding. If you have to take medication, and you could take something like metformin, which is, I think, also called a glucophage, which it is a much better alternative than a lot of other medications. So if you, your family members, are on type 2 diabetes-based drugs and taking an insulin sensitizer, it might be something that you want to speak with your doctor about. And if they don't have a good reason of why not to switch to that type of drug, then it might be something that you do request. But of course, always work with your PCP or specialist. This study was done at the Cleveland Clinic for Endocrinology and Metabolism Institute, obviously very prestigious, and it was published in Diabetes, Obesity, and Metabolism. The study was led by endocrinologist Sanjita Kashyap, and she's a medical doctor, or he's a medical doctor. I apologize, I don't know. And I will link that up today at stephencabral.com/1442. So all of today's links and show notes and all that good stuff will be at stephencabral.com/1442. Okay, so next study I wanted to take you through was actually on blood pressure and sauna. Now, I would love you to go back to a previous podcast I did. If you go to stephencabral.com/podcast, we're going back to that page right now, and you type in 19 minutes. Type in 19 minutes because it's a little bit more specific than 19. And let's see if we get our podcast that I did on using a sauna for just 19 minutes. There's actually 32 results for 19 minutes, but I can tell you right now it's episode 524. So if you go to stephencabral.com/524, I think you'll be shocked at what sauna can do at just 19 minutes most days per week on all-cause mortality. Well, and that was a huge study. But now we have another study. This study was done by Dr. Jari Laukkanen, professor of medicine, University of Eastern Finland. And this was over 1,600 middle-aged men. Let's see, normal blood pressure, published in the American Journal of Hypertension. Here's the synopsis of the study. Men who had 2 to 3 sauna sessions weekly over a 25-year period were 24% less likely to have high blood pressure than men who had 1 or no weekly sauna visits. Men who went to a sauna 4 to 7 times a week had a 46% lower risk for high blood pressure. The study did not prove cause and effect, but researchers said sauna warmth may improve blood vessel flexibility, and the warmth and cool down in a typical Finnish sauna may lead to general relaxation, which lowers the blood pressure. And I wanted to add that last part because we do know a causal factor. When using a sauna, you elicit, as long as you're relaxed, the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system allows for vasodilation. It allows the blood vessels to dilate. It allows you to relax, and it enables the blood pressure typically to go down. So great study, 2 to 3 times a week, 24% less high blood pressure risk, and 46% for 4 times or more per week. So, I mean, we just keep getting more and more information on sauna. It's a great thing. It helps with detoxification. And so I do recommend it. I really do. And if that means using it for, again, just 19 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week, still benefit. If you can get in there 4 to 5 times a week for 19 minutes, even more benefit. Now, can you do longer? Yes. You just don't want to push yourself, overly hard, especially if the sauna is quite hot. So really great research right there. One more that I want to bring you, which is just a fun one, and we'll end on that one. We buy fresh eggs at the farmer's market. When we're in Maine, we literally get them from one of our neighbors. And sometimes there's a date, sometimes there's not. You're like, hey, is this egg still fresh or not? We don't know. So one little trick that I found, I don't know, maybe you already know about it, but if you're looking to see if the egg is still fresh, you can actually fill a bowl with water, just enough that would allow the egg to submerge or not. And what happens is, if the egg sinks, it's still fresh. If it starts to float, it is no longer fresh. So one little thing that you can use for your eggs. Now, of course, when in doubt, throw out the eggs. Do not use them. You don't want to get sick. I'm not saying that at all. But if you get them at a local farmer's market or you don't know if they're expired or not, this could be a little trick that you use. And so, again, just wanted to pass that on to you. It's something that I'll be using, so for sure, I wanted to share that. Thank you so much for tuning into today's Friday review. As always, I appreciate you. Always a lot going on in the private practice. Didn't even get to talk about even more of the things that I found at CES. I'll talk more about those hopefully next Friday as well. Have an amazing weekend. Take care, and I'll speak with you tomorrow on our first host call of the weekend. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.